Um, they won't be able to see the guest, but just always try to do things and try to learn different things at the same time, and having some sparkling punch, yeah, and have a sip of wine. Well, it's a beautiful week so far. All I can say, it's been a exciting week. Every week is deemed to be exciting. You've got to make, this is the right glasses, this is the wrong glasses. You got to treat every week as a special week. Every day as a special day. Every time as a special time. The moment, the season, the reason, you know. And on this Saturday night, we find different things to talk about with whomsoever want to come in and talk. There I go. There I can see myself properly. You know. And for those on Facebook, for those on YouTube, and for those on Instagram and also on Twitter, trust me, I believe that something can be happening there, and we can see, you know. But yeah, I've been having a lot of powerful, what should I say, inspirational words, thoughts this week. The powerful thing when you're walking in the park, cheers. When you're walking in the park, you get all these different level of inspiration. Very powerful, totally powerful, I would say. And I could sit there in the park and just really learn and absorb new things, because it's like God sort of open up your mind and open up your being so you can actually explore. Hi Jesse. You know, you can learn so many different things, you know what I'm saying? And this week, while I was walking in the park and I was thinking about the world and what is happening around us, I was focusing a lot on the fact that through the pandemic in the UK, many people had their, let me just turn this thing down a bit so just to make sure, yeah, keep in the background there. Wanted to make sure somehow, make sure that people can hear. But I was thinking about this, and hear me out for a while. A lot of people had dreams, you know, a lot of people had dreams, a lot of people had visions and things that they want to actually do. And they felt like their dreams have been shattered through the pandemic. They believe that as they're going forward, they're going backwards. They're going forward, they're going backwards. And it's like the carnival with calypso music, you know, go to mass or whatever. I don't do that, but you go forward, you're going backward, feeling hot, hot, hot. You go forward, you go backwards. And it's like something is not happening. So many people's dreams are like shattered. It's dormant and it's left there. But then it came to me very strongly, and I need to turn this thing down. It came to me very strongly that those dreams are still there. They're still there. Still there. Haven't moved, still there. But guess what? It's like pimp my ride. You know, I started thinking about pimp my ride. You know that show? That show, Pimp My Ride. And and in Pimp My Ride, one of the things that come on in Pimp My Ride is this. They take an old car, like a banger, and exhibit or whatever it is, that he turn it into something beautiful. They take it to the mechanic and they say, wow, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. So I start to say now, let us pimp our dreams. Pimp your dream. That dream which has been dormant, lying there and inactive, pimp it and make it become beautiful. That's all I want to say. You know, that's my starting point today. You know, and tonight, want to Lester. I think you got to send me an invite because I can't seem to see you. You got to send me an invite if anything like that. If I can see you. Yes, I can see you. I can see you. Most Reverend Audit. Audit. Yes, you got to come in tonight. Awesome. 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 Governor.
Blessings.
I said governor, man. You're a governor. You need to. Huh? Are you pimp your dream or?
Always.
I was on my show on Thursday night, and the guys them said, I can't believe Silburn is talking about pimping with two reference on the show.
Pimping is a wide reference, you know. So.
Exactly. A wide.
So I don't know what those guys were thinking about when you said pimping.
Well, I explained it. I'm very good at articulating myself, except when it comes on to just taking it from illegitimate straight to jacket. So what are you drinking, buddy? What are you drinking?
Wait, hold on.
You forgot. I should ban you from the show. Curious Carrington, good afternoon. Awesome. Reverend Audie. Yes. Let's.
Yes. And we have a new subscriber follower in Curious Carrington.
Okay.
And I was telling her about the show from last week or week before last, and she's eager to join and to say, her piece, and a beautiful Jamaican woman. I think she's from Kingston. I don't think she's from Ochi. Only Kingston women look that beautiful and ravishing.
Well, my wife is from Ocherios, just for the record. So
your wife was born in Kingston. So
my wife was born in actually she was born in St. Andrew Hospital, I think so. But she's still an original Ochi girl. I know she went to Immaculate still, but she's still an Ochi girl, you know what I'm saying?
You see? You can't escape Kingston.
Still, all my children born in the UK, but they're still an Ochi picnic them. Straight from Ochi.
They have never been to Ocherios?
They have been to Ocherios. Really? Of course, even my daughter.
I need to call child services on you.
You remember, I'm a child care lawyer, you know what I mean?
I know.
Do you know one of the interesting things about child care is we had a judge one time, and the judge always keep us late. She always keep us late after 5. And there's always child care implications by these lawyers. And none of them like to go before this judge in the afternoon because she always keep us back late. And we always worry that social service is going to be knocking on all these lawyers actually who are in care proceedings in regards to children at the same time, for this judge, But so you're drinking actually Heineken.
The Dutch national beer.
Oh, the Dutch national beer. Is that the one they're demonstrating and mashing up the place about?
No.
Hey, well, I think we've got finally we've got ladies that start off. We always complain that there's no ladies sometimes, Hi, Curious Carrington. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
She sounds like an Ochi girl, She sounds like she come from Ochi.
I love your lips.
Lester, this is a serious show,
On her shirt.
Okay. Hold on. Bashman.
I should have thought about what I'm wearing. I didn't even just put on something because I realized that it's going to include a little bit of Rihanna, and so I decided to, dress up a little bit.
But what are you drinking? Remember, I told you you have to have a drink in your hand.
Of course, it's right here, white wine.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I would say cheers.
Cheers.
I was supposed to look at the eyes when you say cheers. You know what that means, right?
What that mean?
Yes.
What that mean?
Come on, you're supposed to know. It says if you don't, when you're cheer, don't look into the people's eyes, you'll have 7 years. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. sex.
Well, I've learned something today. Totally.
You never heard of that?
Let's say not everything we know in Leicester. I might.
I thought you UK people and Ochi people know everything.
Well, actually, she looks like she come from Ochi. You know? She sounds like a Ochi girl.
Oh, really? Oh, what Ochi girls sounds like and look like. Whoops.
See, exactly. Ochi girl, man. See, if she go against Ochi.
I'm trying to set this up so I don't have
She okay.
I'm okay. I guess I was trying to set it up where I don't have to hold the phone, but until then, I will just hold it.
Yeah, that's good. I was just gonna check. Is V-Pops in Canada, Leicester?
No, V-Pops. He's in Miami, I think, or Fort Lauderdale, one of them.
Okay, he's in Fort Lauderdale. Okay,
but he's originally from
Ochi.
This Garrison community that is broken down, East Kingston, Rollington Town, Franklin Town. Not a very nice place.
Why you speak like that, Lester? Why you try to denigrate?
You saw him start cuss me. You hear him say, "Why do I have a green bottle?"
I have a green bottle.
I'm a virgin, man. I'm a virgin.
But listen, curious. Actually, it's Curious Carrington. I mean, I was gonna say curious. Tell us about yourself, Curious Carrington. Annette.
You know.
Oh! Before you start, hang on a second. We have been interrupted. Straight out of Trelawney.
Good evening, guys.
How are you doing? How are you doing?
Lester, why you face look like that? What's happening? I don't understand what's happening.
And hold on.
What's the shock about?
And she's not even in a car, Lester. Lester, you need to behave yourself, you know. How are you, Jody?
Guys, I have been tired, working hard and tired.
Yes.
I soon can announce all that I've been working on. It's huge. It's a big project, and it's going to impact a lot of Jamaicans' lives because it has to do with creating job opportunities. So my hard work is not going in vain, Lester.
So I guess you got the cure for COVID then.
Cure for what?
COVID. They say it's going to impact a lot of lives. You know? That's the only thing now. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about job opportunities.
Well,
that's what we're working on. So
a lot of job opportunities is coming to the pharmaceutical sector. You know what I'm saying? That's a big area. Isn't it?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, all these guys are going to start to fly into space every day. Coming soon, you know, with all these boosts, you know, boost upon boost. You know what I'm trying to say? What are you drinking?
For all the people who are going to be sick even more, we are trying to make sure we have enough healthcare workers to deal with all the issues that will come with all the side effects from everything else.
Yeah. What are you drinking, Jody?
Well, you know me. You know me. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Well, let's go back to Curious Carrington. How are you? Miss Carrington was telling us about herself because she got to.
Miss Carrington. Hi, Jody. It's actually Annette. So you know, Annette. Carrington is the last name, right? A very curious person, hence the name Curious Carrington. But it's not. That's on you guys. Not for me.
That's sort of lost. We're losing it slightly.
Why is that? I'm in an error. It's going in and out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have signal.
It's okay now. It's okay now. Have you got flow? Have you got flow? Is it flow you have or digital?
Yep. Yep. Right. So you've asked me to about myself, and I say it's not particular topic that I like to do. I like for person for me, but person. And my name is Aaron. And it's still going out. I think you probably need to check your speaker. I'm not sure if it's a speaker.
using an extended speaker. Well, I used to have the same problem with my headset, so I can tell you which is the speaker.
Unless I'm gonna put in my earphones.
Yes, but the earphone tend to work better. Yeah, earphone tend to work better.
Person, I do that. But anyway, let me try. Are you hearing me better? Any better?
Yes.
No, not better. Great. All right. So back to what I was saying. Kingston, Jamaica, born and bred Jamaican girl. Very simple. For what I do, I am a customer service and training manager. I'm also big in sales in terms of any brand that I'm involved with. I make sure that it gets out there and gets out there properly. Mother of two, 29 and 22.
Are you 29?
Thank you.
She look younger than Jody.
I don't even know.
That's fine.
I won't get into that sort of conversation. I stay away from certain.
No, but she doesn't look like she has a 22 or 29 years old. You look way younger.
Exactly. You're way too kind. I thank you for having me. I think this is just, for having me on the show. You've been so kind. But thank you. I'll embrace it and endeavor to try and keep it that way. But that's it. That's really just about it. I'm a family woman. I love life. Anything is considered fun for me, and I'm very serious when I get into a work project. Extremely serious. I am loyal to a cause, and that's about it. Nothing big about me. Nothing. I'm just me.
So somebody just said that her speaker was going in and out like JLP. Big pops. Let's face drop.
Wow. He don't get the joke. Sorry, Lester.
Lester don't get the joke. Big pops, well, the PNP is out, But listen, one thing I wanted to talk about, and it is very interesting because I saw this big debate going on in Jamaica about Rihanna's outfit when she became national heroine for the independence. Kudos to Barbados for stepping out. I see Siaga. I see PJ Patterson actually saying he's begging the Prime Minister to do the honors of making us get a republic, and always ask these questions. Why these guys, when they're out of power and they were in for so long, finally are saying these things, when they could have done it in those periods. But I found the whole debate with Rihanna very interesting, and because it was her outfit was deemed to be inappropriate, and then I started to think about it and say, what is appropriate? Because when you look into Africa and you look at some of the outfits being worn at that time, some may be covered up and some may be a bit scanty. You wonder, what is appropriate? What is deemed to be appropriate? Is it the culture? Is it the westernization? Is it our minds seared with slavery mentality? Or what? I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there because I'm just throwing that out. Who want to take it first?
Ladies first.
All right. Ladies first? All right, I'll go first. Ready? I loved Rihanna's dress. I like that her nipples were showing because it's who Rihanna is. If she wore something else, I would have been disappointed. As in terms of if she did what everybody was expecting, or I would have been disappointed because Rihanna is an image in herself. She stands for something in herself. And I think what has, as you said, Silburn, I think is a matter of mental slavery that we're still in. We've evolved. Just like I had a debate with someone who thought she should not have gotten the award because they're saying, what has she done? Yes. I said, for Barbados, Rihanna has literally put Barbados on the map like many other Jamaican entertainers.
Yes.
And I think because it is not academical or it's not seen to be some political, then people have an issue with it. My thing is, if you make your country proud and your country wants to recognize you in whatever way they want to, that's their decision. That's my personal view on it. And who says what's appropriate and what's inappropriate? Who decides that? Was a dress code given for the event? I don't think so. But for me personally, if she wore something else that was in the line of what everybody else was saying that she should wear, it would not have been the image of Rihanna, who we have seen. And I guess I'm on the male side with this one. But Rihanna is literally an entertainer, and she literally sells what she does in a very smart, sexy way. Yes. And if you take that away from her, then you're taking away the true personality of who she is and why she's where she is. That's my personal opinion. Jody Marie's personal opinion.
Yes.
And it is respected. But Rihanna personally is one of my favorite artists, right? I like everything she represents. Sex, talent, intelligence, all of them both, right? And I totally admire her being who she is. But for me, as a woman, as somebody who, again, I like to be sexy, I like to represent who I am, which is a little bit of everything. I think Rihanna, no matter what, there's a time and place for everything. And while I agree that she looked amazing, that personally for me, that dress, being as gorgeous as it was, and yes, she wore the heck out of it, I still think she could have been a little bit more conservative, not to have a dress up to her neck or anything like that, but I think she could have been a little bit more, cautious in how she displayed her sexuality, given what was happening, the fact that she was being honored with such an award. That wouldn't have given me the picture that I wanted to be associated with that particular day. And it wouldn't be that she was taken away from who she is, what she represents, her brand, but I'm on the opposite side where I think she could have done a little bit better. I've seen her gone to events, meaning pictures of her gone to events more covered up, and she was still as sexy as not being covered up.
Let me ask a question, Annie, right? Sure. And this is woman to woman, right? Mm-hmm. Isn't it the fact that we're debating her dress that there is an issue? The fact that it's even a debate, don't you think that is an issue? And it's not, the argument is not about what she has done to get this honor? I'm just asking.
Jody, no, I wouldn't say that, because had it not been done, it wouldn't be a debate. So the fact that, and again, it comes back to marketing, because she's being spoken of at persons who never heard about Rihanna. And yes, there are going to be people who have never heard about Rihanna or know her songs or anything like that. And this is an opportunity for them to get to know because of this discussion. But I don't think that the fact that we're debating it is an issue. No, it lends itself for us to have healthy discussion, so that if it is that it is not accepted, or it is quote unquote not accepted, or she should have done a little bit better. And I'm just saying that if it is, then persons will learn from this and probably come up a little bit more. I don't have a problem with the discussion. I can tell you, it is a healthy discussion. And so I welcome the discussion. I don't think it's a problem that we're having it. No.
Do you think that by virtue of her dress code, it is sending a message to young girls who actually look up to her to say, hey, you can dress like that to events which are deemed to be high profile? You can dress like that to court, you can dress like that to church, because you just be yourself, because Rihanna is the person that just want to be herself. And somebody said to me, a guy posted on a page and said, what has Rihanna done to get any heroine? I said to him, well, she work. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah,
but, right. But I would not question whether or not she is suitable for. It's well deserved. We applaud Bob Marley every day for putting us on the map with reggae music. Whether or not he's responsible for it is another debate. But I don't think Rihanna wearing that dress, then she becomes the poster child for whether or not little girls ought to dress like that or not to dress like that. No. I think it is left up to each individual to take responsibility for themselves. Rihanna is not responsible for the entire world and how they dress to show up at any event. No. We're not going to put that on her. I certainly agree with Jody in saying that we ought to probably focus more on what she was receiving, which is she's a national hero. Well deserved, if you ask me, for many reasons. How many different things or different persons have done the work out of Barbados, have put Barbados on the map like Rihanna has. She certainly deserves it, and she did work. She has been working. She continues to work. So two different issues right there. And I'm not going to levy that on her to say because she has done this, then really no, she's teaching young girls. No. Not at all.
My 2 cents, and that's the European sense, might I add. I am looking at it from a different perspective, right? Crystal Tomlinson, the former president of the People's National Party, YO, said that same dress that Rihanna wore to collect her award, to receive her award.
Yeah.
You could not go to a hospital. You could not go to a court. You could not go to any public office in Jamaica in a dress like that, right? You will be turned away by the security officer and not allowed the service that you went there for in a dress like that. Now, we see a country like Barbados accepting her and giving her an award. What Bob Marley has done for Jamaica, what Bob Marley has done for black struggle, and I'm not comparing the two, Bob has done a far more universal type of contribution than what Rihanna has done for Barbados, right? And we are still saying that dirty Rasta, because these are some of the things that I've heard this week. That dirty Rasta boy, all in that breed up woman, right? And I said to all other people, go and do a research outside of his music. Go and do a research on what Bob has done. When he got shot and he went to London, daily you had 3,000 people coming, Jamaican community in London coming to his house for help, for children, for housing, for a lot of stuff. Bob has done stuff internationally. The same thing when he was in New York. The same thing when he was in Jamaica, right? What I'm saying now, when we are going to have the inappropriate and appropriate conversation, is it Eurocentric appropriateness? What type of appropriateness are we talking about? Because, Anita, I understand what you're saying, but are our standards of appropriateness, are they Afrocentric? Are they Bayesian? Are they Jamaican? Or are they Eurocentric? Because
and the question I'm also asking, Lester, is why are we as Jamaicans having a debate about this? Are Bayesians having a debate about this?
You know, I was waiting to ask that question.
Our Bayesians are having a debate. No. Why are we having a debate about this?
Let me just come in here because just to pick up a couple of persons saying she wasn't going to any of those events. Somebody said in regards to all of those different places, something wrong with Jamaica is what Vita said as well. I guess the question is right. Who's the determining factor? Who determines what is appropriate? Exactly. Where's that standard? Where did it come from?
And
where did it come from?
Does Barbados have the same standard and culture as Jamaica? It's very different. And that's why I said, somebody was saying, why should Rihanna become a heroine? And I'm saying, if she's significant to her country and her culture, and she meets the standard for her country and her culture to be a heroine, they have all right to give it to her. They may not meet our standards in Jamaica, but they meet it in Barbados. Yeah. And I don't really think we should be having a debate about it because that country is that country. They're now a republic. We are still under bondage. I'm just saying. They have a right. They are liberated to do anything they want to do at this very point. So we ain't got nothing to say because we still under bondage. Just saying.
But then what a bondage argument there's still, but
you know what I'm talking about, Lester. You know what I'm talking about.
Jody, I agree with you completely on that, right? I like I said, when you made your point, I was with you totally on the fact that we have no right to decide whether or not she should have been awarded. In fact, she has worked very hard, and if her country chooses to do so, then we're not in a position to. There are persons who I think should be included in our list of national heroes and heroines that are not, but then I'm not at the in a position to decide that. Lester, you made mention whether or not they're appropriate, what we deem appropriate. I don't think I really am struggling with why we are now moving away from quote unquote the norm of what standard dress for certain.
Mm.
My nipples, absolutely.
And I usually don't cut people, but let me say this to you. 2 years ago or 3 years ago, we had Grace Hamilton, aka Spice. We asked her to the national the Ministry of Sports asked her to perform for the athletes, for the Olympians, right? Now, Spice has a specific genre, specific type of music. So if you're going to hire a talent, you can't expect something other than what she is known for. And when they carried Spice there and she did what she is known for, they cut the mic because dignitaries were there or her content wasn't deemed appropriate. Now, is she performing for the dignitaries or was it a celebration for the athletes? You know? And I'm saying you hire a talent based on what you know of the talent, right? 1, 2. Now, let me say this. You just said something very, very important. Why are we moving away from what the norm is? Now, what is that?
Sorry, that was Spice. It was a commercial break.
What is that norm, Annette? That norm of dress code, that norm of behavior, that norm of attitude, that norm of decency was given to us by our colonial masters. If you look at all our celebratory events, right, all of them, they are handed to us down by our colonial British masters. There's nothing in our norm or standards that is anything Jamaican or Afrocentric. None.
That is very true. Even in our justice system, the dress code and everything is based off the colonial system. And I'm totally in agreement with you. What is our identity? Why is it that we can't stick to what is truly Jamaican and what is truly our culture?
Let's go back. When you say truly Jamaican, what is truly Jamaican? Or you should say African.
I was about to really ask that question as well. Because I'll allow Rudy to go ahead.
All right. We're a mixed culture, right?
Yes.
Right. So we are all supposed to accept our mixed cultures. Fair enough?
Yes.
Jamaica, we're out of many one people, right?
Yes.
So if I choose to wear my Indian garment or my African descent garment, it is a combination of two cultures. Fair enough? Fair enough, right? But there is a Jamaican standard that is set by a certain set of people. There are cultures within the culture of Jamaica. And if you go somewhere, somebody will say, oh, are them kind of people like that, right? Let me tell you one of the very often ones I hear. She dressed like she come from downtown. That's a stereotype. Aren't they Jamaicans as well? You understand what I'm saying? But the thing is, it's just known to be associated with how a good amount of the population of downtown would dress. But isn't it Jamaican? Why can't we accept that in another arena? Why is it that they have to be segregated, a culture among a culture? We're out of many, one people. Why cannot we accept that instead of impose a specific dress code on everyone? Just saying, that's all I'm saying.
Let me ask you this, Jody, to play devil's advocate a little bit. Let me ask you this. You're having, say for instance, you're having a function for yourself, and you have set the dress code to be formal, right? And I turn up. I'm one of the lucky invitees, and I turn up, in some short shorts with some stockings and knee-high boots to your event that you expect us to be dressed formally. What would you think? How would you see me? Would you then be okay with me being a part of it, staying there, taking part in the festivities after you send out something, you invited me, and this is how I show up? Would that be okay?
Well, for me, Annette, I'm not somebody who is, and I'm not very normal. So let me say this from the beginning. I'm not very normal and I'm not very average. If I know this is how Annette dresses, is it me or is it her?
No, Annette has been.
Annette's spinning. Okay.
Yeah.
Probably our internet soon come again. But my thing is this: if I know that this is how Annette is and this is how Annette dress, right? I'll be okay. Personally. And that's a Jody Marie thing. Right? Personally, that's me. If I know this is who you are and this is how you dress, I'll be okay with it. If I would probably even think maybe Annette don't have anything else to wear, so yeah. But if you have a dress code for something and somebody says, okay, I don't have, and it has happened to me before. Somebody will call and say, oh, I realize you put semi-formal on this and I don't have anything semi-formal. I said, what do you have to wear? Right? And when they tell me what they have to wear, I said, all right, wear what you have to wear once you are comfortable in what you have to wear. That's Jody Marie. I'm not talking about everybody else. That's Jody Marie.
I think,
right?
yeah.
But hold on.
Go listen.
All right. I put on this and I take off the jacket that I had for a specific reason. When I used to attend church back in Jamaica, this is how I used to dress to church. T-shirt, cap, jeans, sneakers, with ears in them, right? So I went to church, I sat down, watching. I felt a tap on my shoulder. When I looked across, Mrs. Forrester said to me, take off the cap. I said, unless you come with the JD, if I'm not taking off my cap. Right?
Is Miss Forrester still alive?
Yes.
Okay, you call up her name. She'll come slap you in your face.
That's how I am. True story. Right? Mrs. Spencer come over, tap me on the shoulder, take off the cap. I said, Mrs. Spencer, you're disturbing me from listening to the word of the Lord. Right? Okay. A third lady came, Jean, she came over, Mrs. Myrie came over, touched me on the shoulder, same thing. Right? Now, 3 persons disturbing me from listening to the message because of standard, dress code, appropriate. After church, the pastor called me. Reverend Ray, Youthman Ray called me. And I said, don't talk to me alone, call the 3 ladies. So he went and got them. And he said that he was like basically scolding me for dressing like this. So I said to him, listen, number one, I'm a young black male in Kingston. On a Sunday, most young black males in Kingston are not in church. So you should be glad that I'm here. 2, why I dress like this is that when we're going to do outreach, whether I'm there or not, you have the ability to look at the young men on the corner to say, come as you are, because one on own, Lester, I saw him just come to church. So don't tell me saying you're not a church clothes. Come as you are. Because we now watch what you wear. We want you to be there. Right? Too many times in this country, we use classism, we use certain appropriateness and marginalize people who can be very, very good. to a particular institution, right? I can speak English very well. We can go down to the pato and talk to get to think them too, right? I have seen persons who from rural Jamaica or from the ghetto, and they try to communicate to people, and they talk patois, and people disrespect them because their language is deemed inappropriate.
So Lester, can I stop you there? So it is not just the dress code; it is a classism mentality, which is it.
It's a mixture of both.
And would you say that it's is that a fair statement?
It is a fair statement, given what Lester just spoke about, right? But we need to put things into context. We're not talking about that particular situation with Rihanna, which is the subject matter that we're talking about, right? Now, I understand, and I agree with everything that Lester has said, and I also agree with Jody based on what she has also said, that she is different. I am too. I would not be judgmental of the person in that situation, because in inviting persons, I would know, the possibilities, basically, right? We're talking about a specific individual right here. We're talking about a specific moment right here. And so my position was this, that even though I agree with the statement you just made, and I agree with what Lester said, my position still stands. As a woman, as getting the honor that Rihanna had bestowed on her, I would have preferred that she
Well, Annette, what is appropriate? What
I have a question.
Give us a dress code. What you'd prefer to see your skin?
If the dress had been worn in a more conservative way, where her nipples were not sticking out, and I read somewhere where somebody said had her breasts been like slippers, then we could have a problem. That again is a whole different story, because then we're talking about persons who, if they don't look a certain way in their clothes, then it's not appropriate, versus if you look a certain way in your clothes, then it will be deemed appropriate. So without, I personally would not have done it that way, right? I wouldn't have, if I'm going somewhere where I don't care. That's you're given the honor of being a national hero in your country. Come on, I just don't think it was wise. It was a wise move.
Let me ask you a question, Annie.
In terms of branding and us having this conversation, of course it was a wise move. But in terms of I would have done it a little bit different. That's all I'm saying.
I need to.
It's trending, Annette. Fenty is trending.
Yeah, Fenty is trending.
That's why I said from a brand standpoint. Of course it is wise, which is why we're here having a conversation. And I'm sure she's done.
Let me ask you something, Annette. If she was wearing an African wrap with no bra and her nipple was showing, would it have been the same thing?
Jody, you ever say African material?
No, I'm just. Yes, I'm just saying.
Well, actually, Swaziland, it's appropriate for the girls to go topless when they're dancing for that king, when he's choosing a bride.
I mean, if you move to Swaziland,
That is Swaziland, though.
That's the standard.
That is the standard. All right, that is the standard. We're talking about the Caribbean. We were under the British rule. Whether we like it or not, we're cultured a certain way, right?
And this is what I'm saying. They're liberated, so they have the rights to free themselves from that culture.
Let me say. Let me.
They are now free. They have the right to liberate themselves from that culture.
Let me say something and hush my voice.
I would not.
Yeah.
No matter how big my brand is, that would not be.
It has nothing to do with brands. What I'm saying, Annette, they are now free.
All right.
They have liberated themselves from that culture. Maybe this is even a statement in itself of that liberation from that culture.
Can I say something?
You have a point there, but I still hold on to mine.
Can I say?
Point that I agree with all of that,
Can I say something with my voice? Hush. I heard something recently saying that a woman can dress and expose all herself, and just by her nipple being exposed, she can get blocked.
What?
No.
Sorry? Come back.
A woman can be dressed with all her bits exposed, but just the
Right.
nipple being exposed.
Exactly. Exactly. It's just like the butt. You can expose every part of the butt except the crack. Once you expose the crack, you will be banned. So, I mean, we're she is also representing a whole host of women worldwide. Even though I said before that we can't put on her the fact that she dressed like that, and every little girl she's going to impact and tell every little girl it's okay to dress that way. I don't think it is fair. But at the same time, if you show your nipples, then of course it is banned. What is that saying? It is saying that we ought to, whether or not it is mental slavery or otherwise, it's still just for me. And you're asking me my opinion, and my opinion is that I would not have the dress is fine. Any other time, I just would not be showing my nipples at that point.
I think that is fair what you said, your opinion and your views, and that is what is coming true. Different persons are saying their views, their opinion, but something which is an undercurrent, which I'm picking up, and which a lot of people are talking about, is the mental slavery aspect, whereby we are culturalized by the British system, and yet at the same time we're trying to get away from the British system and trying to tap into Africanism, Africa, at the same time. And then we're talking about the standard. So therefore, there seem to be it's all conflating. There's a confusion and lots of contradiction at the same time. I'm picking up generally, not just from this conversation, but about how do we determine standard. And listen, one of the key persons who brought this up was Faye Linton, a respected journalist in Jamaica. And she's a lecturer. And whoa, Lester, you need to let me say that, and then you can come in and say your bit, good friend of mine, actually. I used to help look after her son when he was in the UK and stuff like that, Stuart. So she has that perspective there, and she's coming from that bit about etiquette, because she always do those things with government when you have the prime ministers and the swearing in. She's always there, so she has that sort of thing. But she's from that old school. At the same time, I don't know, Lester.
I don't think I'm well. Go ahead,
Lester, you change your clothes again. You're going PNP now.
No, Rihanna, I represent Fenty, but I represent European God. I represent my brand too,
I'm representing my brand. I'm 8-pack. 6-pack, 8-pack.
But Faye Ellington, I was disappointed in her comment because I think that one, Faye, as a good friend of and a student of Louise Bennett, should be advocating years now for Louise Bennett to be a national hero or heroine also. And for me, personally, I would rather Louise Bennett be a hero than Nanny. I don't know about Nanny. I don't know the story about Nanny, if the story about Nanny are true. I don't know about that. That's my personal thing, right? I am more connected to Miss Lou, right? Personally. Now, Faye Ellington's comment coming from her, the level that she's at, should be more uplifting, should be more balanced, should be more thoughtful to Rihanna as a young lady, right? If that is all you can see to comment on, right? Don't comment. That's my thing. She should not have said anything.
I'm trying
my
to
thing about it though, guys, is that
comment.
My thing is, guys, it's the same thing, right? Barbados and Jamaica, two different places, number one. And then to talk about what you just said, Lester, about face comments, you have to remember that we are in a culturally different time. And I listened to a past student from my school comment on something on our Instagram that there is a huge divide between the baby boomers, the millennials, the X's and the Y's and the Z's. It is such a huge disconnect that I don't even know how we think, how we move, how we invest, how we see things is really different. we are way more liberated. They're stuck in the old system. So we have to respect their views based on their thought process, how they grew up, right? My kids think totally different from I do because I'm a mix of the baby boomers and the millennials, right? So how I see things is literally, I see things from my parents' perspective, the era I was brought up in, my kids' perspective. So I'm more open to change than I am to stick to what my parents taught me, because I've been liberated by education in so many spheres. I was introduced to the web from I was 12 years old. I was on the internet. I was privileged, right? Not everybody in my era was privileged to have internet from they were 12 years old. So I'm exposed to far more knowledge than many of the other persons who just had to stick to the textbook, right? So my thought process on a lot of things is very liberating because I read a lot. I am literally a nerd. I study a lot. So something happens, I'm going to respond to it. Like my kids, I tell them, challenge me, because there's nothing you can tell me that I don't know. And if I don't know it, it will be something that just come out the other day because they are stuck to the internet like glue. So they can tell me who the new under 20 billionaires are. I don't know who they are and what they do, but my 12-year-old can tell me that because that's the era he wants to be in. That's the lifestyle he wants to have.
Yes.
But there's a huge disconnect. Like I would be teaching my 12-year-old, once my son gets to 12, how to trade. I didn't learn that until I was an adult. Actually, a few years ago, I was exposed to trading. It's a huge disconnect. And like, seriously, just the other day. So I'm just saying that the knowledge, and even I spoke about the educational system the other day. Remember when I was talking about it, guys?
Annette, have you seen the comment? Have you seen that comment?
I am looking at the the photo behind you, Annette. Annette, the painting you have behind you. Yeah.
A wall.
Showing behind you. You have nipples behind you. Annette.
That painting is not appropriate for the show.
That painting is not appropriate, Annette.
Not appropriate.
Well, let me tell you something. And this is why. Right?
Oh God, who brought that up? It must be Peter.
Peter, right? But that's right. But I will expound on that. Finish your statement, Jody, and I will tell you because
What's the name of that painting, Annette?
Listen, if you walk into my house, I'm all for nudity, right? And I hope nobody judge me by me saying that, right? So in my living room, most of my paintings have one of my nephews said to me, Auntie, why all the paintings have some part showing? So I am for nudity. I welcome it. I just think time and place. Now, this is my home.
Well, don't invite Vita there. Don't invite Vita there because
this is my home.
she's having some issues there now. We're not going to invite her on the program tonight. She's having some issues.
Let me jump on and let Vita jump on.
All right.
No, man. No. I'm not prepared to take on Vita, but
Oh God.
No, but for real, this had I really known this, I probably would just sit right there.
I love you, girl.
Hi, Vita. Hi.
Alex, how are you?
Fan her down.
Oh God.
You, Vita. I like you.
Oh God.
I have to play some music for that.
Vita, what are you drinking?
No, let me tell you. You have
Crown and ginger. Drinking Crown and ginger.
truth.
That's why.
Right?
So, Annette, I'm gonna need a picture. I'm gonna need the name of that painting because I'm looking at nipples.
All right. And can I tell you? It's both male and female, if you're really serious.
Hey, the more the merrier.
Yeah, but thank you for that. That was quite funny a while ago. But yeah. So to come back to the point of what I'm saying, right? I'm not a prude by any means. Don't get me wrong, right? I just think, of course, had I known again, if I'd realized what was happening, time and place, I probably wouldn't have had this in the background. So I got caught.
But it's good to be transparent. It's good to be very transparent.
Yeah, but it's true. I wouldn't have, but because it's my first time on the program, that's number one. And of course, I'm,
and you're being awesome at it. Welcome, and you're being awesome.
Thank you.
But Vita, you can.
I can't, I'll never forget. I'll always remember Vita. I'll never forget this one.
Hi, and it was. I really enjoyed listening to you, and you cannot have everybody saying the same thing. Yes, 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 and of course, Jody, totally on point. Totally on point. And playing the advocate, you did a great job. Which, of course, I noticed that you only played advocate because you have nipples showing right there. So that was a point. Like,
yeah, thank you, Vita.
Right, so you're playing the devil's advocate. Appreciated. But what I must commend Jody when she's and Lena, I know I was coming in because I said I was coming in naked. Lester said let him jump off so he can so I could come on naked. But the fact with
I'm going to church in the morning.
The fact with Crown and Ginger, Lester, Crown and Ginger, Crown Royal and Ginger.
You're saying Vita.
But Jody, I respect the fact as what you said as far as they are free, they're liberated, and they want to show nipples. Mm-hmm. If you look at our culture as Africans, Black, we walk around. Our body was a temple. Right now, you have some African Lester. Right now, you have some Africans who the ladies go topless. And they love their body and they're proud of it. We were brainwashed and trained into not loving our body, not loving our hair, and so I have weave on, right? But we were, yes, Lester, yes, it's a weave. So we were brainwashed into not being our natural self, not being who we are. And, we want to see you naked. Okay, give me a minute.
Lester, Vita, just ignore Lester for
What you say?
So,
all right,
so
there you go, Jody.
So the fact is that I respect what Rihanna have done. I respect the power of the woman of running that country, and now they're liberated, they're free, and I would love to put it out there for the Jamaican and the Jamaican people to take themselves away from the European way of life.
Absolutely.
From brainwashing to believe that you are something that you're not. And let's see if we can be Republican too, and we can be free of the brainwashing as what is appropriate for European culture and what is appropriate for African culture.
That is very profound, and it's very interesting what you say there, because by Barbados become a republic, it's actually sending a strong statement to the Caribbean, and that is why the big debate is going on now. The Rihanna thing is just a tip of the iceberg, because you're talking about heroine, because we're talking about heroes. Who are the heroes for Jamaica? We're talking about, should it be Bob Marley, should it be Usain Bolt, should it be who? And we're all playing around that for a long time. Should Jamaica be a republic? That's been going around for a long time. But Mia Motley, this strong woman in the Caribbean, just come out there and just doing it. And you got the president, a lady, the prime minister, a lady, and then Rihanna, the national hero. And therefore it is saying,
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah.
So that's a those are amazing. Those are real Spice Girls, as the Spice Girls over here would say, but not Spice, but Spice Girls.
Yeah, and I think we also need to look at the power of Rihanna's influence and the fact that she's a young Bajan who has a net worth of what? Is it $2.8 billion?
I can't imagine what it is.
For her age and what she has done as an entrepreneur. You understand what I'm saying? To contribute to her country, that's huge.
And she
has contributed her money to her country to do different projects.
Jody, if I was making $2 billion and becoming national heroes, I'll be showing nipples too.
I know that, Vita. You probably walk around naked, Vita. Exactly. You just walk around naked, Vita.
With men using banana leaves and fanning me.
Of course.
But But this is exactly what I'm saying, right? With her influence, right? With what she has accomplished, there is actually nothing more to prove. And so, for me, stepping into Rihanna's shoes, which is right, which, if I may boldly do so, right, that would not be what I'm representing. It would be, for me, as a woman, having that given to me, the fact that it's a female prime minister who is doing so. There's so many different aspects to it, right? So many amazing parts to it that I personally, had I been in Rihanna's shoes, I would not want to be having this discussion. Yes, I'd want it to be having, because, of course, for my brand, it means that I'll be out there. But on a personal note, I would not have dressed that way. That is just my take on it. It doesn't make me less.
Annette, I have a question for you. Annette, I have.
Go ahead.
Hey, Peter, how you doing?
Oh, Jesus. Natural Beauty is the one talking raw and everything, right? But I appreciate you, God. I appreciate you. Please don't come for me. I appreciate everything you're saying. I'm just being a devil's advocate on here. So please, see my shirt? Look in the background.
Notice tonight, all I'm doing tonight is just sitting back and just listening and just drinking. You know what I mean?
Cheers, my love. I love
This is what I'm drinking
Cheers.
tonight.
So, Annette, I have a
Is it
question.
Annette?
I have a question for you, Annette.
Go ahead. I welcome them.
So I have a question for you as far as the aspect, and I understand what you're saying, because growing up in Jamaica, the way you dress, and even now, the way I dress for work, the way I have different closets, the way I dress for work, the way I dress for the weekend, the way it depends. I dress according to where I'm going, and that's what we were trained in Jamaica. But
She's some Ochi. She's an Ochi girl.
But do you see the significant part of it is that we are free, and the three women show that as women we can do whatever we want to do. We can show whatever we want to show and be as free as we want to be, because based on what's happening in Jamaica right now with the raping of women and what is happening, a lot of men are saying the reason why women are being raped is because of the way that they're dressing.
I don't know that.
As a female, I have seen females that the only thing you'll see is their eyes, and they got raped anyways. So now that she's dressed that way, and she was sexy as hell. I mean, I am straight, but I mean, I would change it. You know. So the fact that the way she dressed and the way the females and the woman leading, to me, that was just amazing. That was just amazing of what they have accomplished. To say we can do whatever we want to do, whether we show nipples or not, our butt crack.
Well, Vita, I agree with you. I will not take away from the fact that it was an amazing event. It is amazing that we have lived to see a female prime minister and a female
president.
President and a female
hearing.
Hearing out of Barbados. Of course, I'm not taking away from that, right? I'm a little bit nervous now that Miss Natural is on.
No,
so pardon me. But anyway,
you don't have to
like
be
I
nervous.
said, we're not taking out. I'm not going to take away. I remember that was my thing in the beginning. Let's not take away what has happened from what has happened, right? It was a beautiful moment, an amazing moment, and I'm happy to be around to have witnessed it, right? But it's still, and I'll go as far as to say, take us away from the British side of things, right? If you even notice, let's take the US. Let's not go as far as anywhere else, but the US. In their moments, they don't show this kind of thing. I'm sure had it been a situation where, say, for instance, Parliament, their whatever they call it, their House of Representatives, whatever it is, Congress, whatever it is, right? Nobody would show up like that. I can bet my money that nobody's going to show up like that. Why is it? Is it because they're under mental slavery?
No, it's because they're Europeans, and that's what they do. This is what we're saying.
But it doesn't matter wherever it is in the world. I'm willing to see, right, outside of the African culture where it is okay to dance in front of a king topless outside of that, that is their culture as well, right? Outside of that, would anybody else be turning up looking with their nipples out? No, don't get me wrong, I am all for woman power. I'm all for it. The debate here that we're having, the conversation that we're here having, is whether or not it should have been done, whether or not she could have tailored herself a little bit more. It is not to take away from, I'm not going to join in a conversation to say whether she should have gotten the award. Well deserved. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying from a woman's perspective, I would not want to be remembered on such an occasion by my nipples showing.
Okay, that's a good point.
That's not what I would want.
Okay, point is taken. Let me hear what Natural Beauty. Michelle, what's your take on the whole thing?
I believe in to each his own.
Yes.
What floats your boat might not float her boat. Okay? Absolutely. I'm a stylist myself. This is what I do. I style people. Okay? And it's not even that Rihanna went in and picked her outfit out. Her stylist is the one who put that outfit on her for her to go out. Mm-hmm. I never said nothing wrong with it. It's nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's to each his own. What might float your boat, don't float mine. You know what I'm saying? And opinions is just like assholes. Everybody got them.
Could it be a situation whereby it's a wake up call, a trigger to the Caribbean to say that, hang on a second, what is our standard? Where did we get our standard from? And at the same time, we keep talking about the Pan-African. We keep talking about reparation, repatriation. We keep talking about Africa. We keep talking about we need to have our own identity. But our identity is somewhat entwined with Europe. I'm dressing like this.
Here in the US, you could go in a court. How the hell you want to look in court? How you want to dress in court?
The lawyers can dress like that.
Listen,
no, nothing up.
You how you want to go.
Lawyers can't go.
Not the lawyers.
Like that. And I mean, it's not an average person we're talking about. So again, it comes back. You see, we keep
it's
going back and forth.
It's not an average person, but listen.
Exactly. We go in a hospital, how we want to dress in a hospital. We don't have to have on no doggone long sleeve in a hospital if we don't want to go in a hospital. I remember one year I went to Jamaica and I was going to look about my birth certificate. And I had a short sleeve, it's hot. Never I want short sleeves. I mean, walking out of the building and them turn me back around. I thought that was ridiculous. I'm not here for my dress code, what I have on. I'm here to go pick up my birth certificate and leave your building. So who are you to tell me what I could wear in your building? We never come in there in our pum-pum shorts or anything like that.
But there you go.
A shirt with no sleeve on. Who are you to tell me what kind of shirt I'm supposed to wear?
But Vito, Miss Natural, remember, you just actually included in your statement, I don't have on pom-pom shorts. What is wrong with wearing pom-pom shorts then? You see what I'm saying? We're still in the back of our heads. What it is. Let's not forget, people, what it is. And I let me go back a little bit. I do agree that it's a wake-up call for us. I do agree. Yeah. Whether or not we change the standard, that's a whole different thing. Or what we consider the standard, that's a whole different thing. But it is a wake-up call. It is a wake-up call for me as a woman as well, who considers herself to be, modern in thinking, modern in way of life, and wanting to, get with everything that's going. It's a wake-up call. But you said it a while ago.
But to tell the truth, even if I wore pom-pom shorts, it just matter. Because I'm just there to conduct my business and that's it and leave. You do your business, I'm doing my business. You shouldn't be looking at my pom-pom shorts if that's the case.
That's just
it.
Let's You
know what? I'm looking. You know what? I'm surprised that Rihanna did not do. Come and stage with or show the party after smoking weed in her dress and show that we as African American we do whatever we want to do.
I think the Prime Minister would have joined her in a motley. She seemed really down to earth.
So the fact is that this
Yeah, but weed is legal too. I mean,
this is a wake up call.
That's a problem. We try to push our morals and our
yes
on people too much.
Yes.
Everybody have their culture, and your morals might not be my morals. I might find yours offensive, and you find mine offensive. That's just the way it is. So you can't try to push how you think or how you are or your morals on somebody else. I don't believe in that. To each his own. Whatever floats your boat might not float my one. And what float my one now float your one. And that's just it.
So what do you so in closing off this particular section, what do you think then is the way forward in something like this? Is it like everybody to themselves? Because I mean, Annette, you clearly say this is how I see it. I can't force it on nobody. That's how I see it. Fair intent see it that way. Natural beauty see it that way.
Let's do it at the business at hand. The business at hand was her getting the heroes.
But they must.
That's the heroine.
Yeah, but they must.
The thing about it,
sorry, go on, Annette. Yeah.
No, while it is, I wouldn't have gone as far as they did, honestly, right? Because I'm not chastising her for what she wore. What is most important in all of this is what she was there for. That to me is most important. Yes, we're having a discussion about her nipples. And yes, it is good for her brand. It's not about imposing our beliefs. You asked the question earlier on, is this what we're teaching our little girls?
Yes.
Somebody has posed the fact that people are saying, it is because of how we dress as women that cause us to be raped. I don't subscribe to any of that.
My kids.
I don't. But I still maintain the fact that as a woman, especially if I have that amount of influence then, I am going to take the opportunity to not only be proud of myself for what I have achieved, but also I'm going to take the opportunity to say, all right, maybe being so sexual isn't necessarily what's going to get you here, because not all of us.
But it wasn't sexual. What's so sexual about that? Probably she don't wear bras. I know everybody wear bra. She don't wear bra, and that's just it. She don't wear bra, and that's just
because
it.
everybody talking about not wearing bra. I wish at my age I could have gone without wearing
exactly.
Yeah, but
I don't wear bra. I don't wear bra.
But I will.
Not everybody wears a bra.
I don't wear bra.
Not everybody does. Not everybody wear an underwear as well, and that's okay. That is fine. I'm just saying, if it is as a woman, and I'm gonna put myself out there as a woman who, yes, I love underwear, but I don't necessarily wear them, right? But if for some reason if I'm going to church, there is something that goes off in my head. So don't go into the church without your underwear. You get what I'm saying? It's just time and place for everything.
But okay.
And had I realized that this painting around here was like that, time and place again and the subject matter would not allow for me to be sitting behind.
But why? Annette? Why?
Because you have to test the water. For me, it's always about testing.
Yeah, but it wasn't that. It's about
testing the water. It's my first time on the show, and I don't want to present myself so sexual. I am a sexual woman. I am very feminine, and I love it. But if I were in Rihanna's position, still being the sexual being who I am, I still would have been a little bit more.
Can I just bring this?
And softer with my sexuality.
Can I just bring this into context? Bring this into context. Rihanna dressed like how she dressed, and it is deemed to be sexual. While another person might see somebody, another person might see somebody dressed another way, fully clothed, and may deem to be sexual. Is it that a perception in the mind of persons that create that sort of thinking? Because for others, it was just her in a dress. I mean, what? Am I being difficult here? Am I being a devil's advocate? I don't think so.
Not at all. Not by me.
A beautiful woman in a dress. That's all there was.
Absolutely.
She could have been everything covered, and somebody would have still see her sex. Your sexuality. So there was nothing wrong with the way she dressed. There was nothing wrong with the way. And when you speak and say as a woman, the fact that you say as a woman, it to me is not appropriate, because you're telling me that it's okay. The man showing nipples is okay, but as a woman, the way I dress, there's something wrong with it. So we as women should be the biggest advocates supporting her. I'm not hearing now.
No, Vita, I'm not saying it from that perspective. No.
Okay.
No. I'm not saying it from that
same
perspective.
thing I was thinking too, Vita, when she keep on saying as a woman.
No, I'm sorry if I come across that way, but that's not what I was trying to say. I'm just speaking from a woman's perspective. Neither am I saying it would be okay for a man. Yes, but I can't speak from a male perspective. I have to speak from my perspective. I can't sit down there.
Well, I'm speaking from my perspective then, because me as a woman to me think differently.
So speaking from Annette's perspective.
Right.
If a man is out there and he's dressing inappropriately, or
hey, John.
I'm not so beauty. We can't hear because of your phone call.
I'll put it on pause, or I will bring it back in. Natural Beauty. Yeah.
What was that, John?
Yeah. I'll bring her back in. Yeah. We could do the call.
Right. What I was saying is, I'm sorry I came across as that way, because it's not that I'm.
Annette, I don't want you to come across think that you're saying anything inappropriate. I want you to feel free, man.
No.
We're talking and sipping. You know what I'm saying? Just remember that.
But I also want the ladies to understand that I'm not saying it's okay for a man to be inappropriately dressed at any point, right? And that is what they're getting from it. No, I was merely saying that I'm big on women having the freedom of dressing without anybody having to say that. Am I having a piece?
Jody, echo. Jody, come back in. Echo. Or change something. That's it.
Right. I'm not saying that when I say as a woman, I'm merely suggesting that I'm speaking on from my standpoint, right?
Yes.
I don't advocate because we dress a certain way, then it invites somebody to come and rape us. No, absolutely not. Nobody can ever get me to speak that way. I was merely trying to suggest that me personally, representing me in a feminine way, yes, it has opened my eyes, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to change how I would turn up at an event. I wouldn't turn up at church a certain way. I know that there are certain rules for certain occasions, as per whether it is colonial or not. For me, I have not reached that point yet where I'm going to show up at an event that Rihanna did in a manner that she did. I'm not knocking her because she's an absolutely beautiful woman. I can't take that from her. Talented, everything about her is on point. But it still does not take away from
it is the function, Annette. It is the event you mean?
Yeah, man, it is the event. Absolutely nothing wrong with the dress. And I said that before. I said that it's not. It's a time and place for everything. Personally, I would have worn that dress at a party, at a function, at a red carpet event somewhere. I just would not have worn it on that day.
Okay.
I'm not saying anything is wrong with the dress, Same time and place.
I would love to know if Barbados is spending time having this discussion. I'm going to touch base with some Barbadian people to touch base. But I want to ask this question now, just moving away from this particular topic area, but it's still linked. Do we still need national heroes? Why do we need national heroes? Do we need them? Why do we need national? Why do we need national heroes?
I want to make two quick points, right? As what Jody said earlier, that the disconnect between like I'm a little older than Jody, so like I have experienced a bit of what my grandmother lived through, my mother and my father and my generation, my children generation.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at today's generation, the last 25, 30 years, we have not had anybody significant who has risen to say, this is a clear representation of our culture. But when you look amongst the fray, there are a few persons who you could identify to say, well, this person has done well. You know, I was having a discussion in my political group, and I mentioned, why not rename the parish of Trelawney Saint Leo or Saint Bolt or something like that in honor of Hussein? Are you mad? You saying don't worthy that, Mister. So the governor Trelawney, a white man, slave owner, oppressor, he's worth the parish being called after him. They didn't even know who the parish was named of.
Exactly.
They didn't even know that.
I must admit, I didn't know that either.
Exactly. You know, and I'm saying, just like Governor Portland, he named Port Antonio of his son Antonio. Yes.
When you look at it, Lester, just like what happened in the UK, a lot of these slave traders were named. Towns and buildings were named after them, and they've been tearing down these statues, tearing down these places. But that was a period of time when that was deemed to be appropriate. And therefore, for Jamaica now, all these towns and places they're talking about was deemed to be appropriate because these were the figures. So the question you have to ask yourself now is this: do we tear down those and enact new ones for representation?
Absolutely.
We have to represent ourselves because Jamaica.
Absolutely.
Because okay, when even the names, even the Jamaican names that we have currently on certain things, it doesn't represent the wider cross section of Jamaica. It represents the political era of Jamaica, right? Because if I ask somebody, where's Bob Marley Boulevard? They can't tell me. They can't tell me. It's in Corville Gardens.
Oh yes, I was trying to remember. I know it because I used to live in Corville at one point. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, Bob Marley Boulevard.
Why isn't Bob Marley Boulevard? Why isn't Bob Marley Boulevard Hope Road?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I do have a strong point there, and I would be advocating for it.
We have no representation who looks like us on a national basis.
But is it a national hero you want, or you want because how are you going to establish national heroes? Because a lot of people are going to rise in prominence.
But to answer your questions, sorry, Jody, to answer your question, the 7 heroes that we have, right? Nobody from my generation or the generation after me has any type of connection with them. No type of connection with them. When I first asked my son, who is Marcus Garvey, he said the fat man. No, sorry, my little brother. This is 1999. I was teaching at St. George's College. I said, who is Marcus Garvey? My little brother and his friend said, the fat man. 1999.
You know, as I said before, it's understanding Jamaica, the Jamaica liberated Jamaica with the coat of arms that says out of many one people. That is what I am referring to. I'm not talking to, we cannot erase our history. All our national heroes are part of our history. We cannot erase it. But what represents us now as a liberated Jamaica? What do we have to show for Jamaica? Out of many one people, Jamaica. That's the matter I'm talking about. What do we have to represent?
Can I just ask Annette?
I have a question. Are we suggesting that we make those heroes and heroines redundant and then take on new ones, or in addition to? Because some persons may be listening and thinking that's what we're advocating for. I know what we're doing, but I'm just.
No, we add to it. We add to it because I think Barbados has 15 national heroes. I think now.
15.
15 national heroes. 15.
Okay.
15. 1 5.
But Silburn, I made a comment when Vita was on, and let me repeat it. If we were to put the national hero selection to a vote, right? And if somebody were to submit Vybz Kartel's name, he would have been selected as a national hero.
If it was based on our voting, yes, it would be.
Based on popularity.
Based on popularity.
Well, Annette and Jody, maybe they're making comparison because most of these heroes were incarcerated at some point. So because Vybz Kartel is no, I'm just being facetious. Sorry, I'm just being joking right there. I was being facetious.
Yeah, but the impact was made.
we're looking at the overall impact that he has. Whether we want to agree with whether he did what he was supposed to do correctly or not. But if you're talking about the influence on the people of Jamaica, he would have played a significant influence. Just like Bob Marley, just like Miss Lou, just like Usain Bolt. Except that Usain Bolt brings Jamaica to the world in a different light, just like Bob Marley did in a different thing. And I don't even think it's the fact that Usain Bolt is the fastest man on the world on the earth, but the fact that he has the personality and the charisma that made his accomplishments even more.
But Jody, also Usain Bolt did a commercial in California, and one of the white guys came to him and said, "Thank you, Mr. Bolt." During they have a lunch period, and he said, "Thank you for what?" He said, "I haven't worked in 6 months. This commercial has given me given me and the town jobs for these next 4 or 5 days, and we can feed our families." Because he said, "You came at the right time. I didn't know what I was going to do."
Yes.
Usain said, "No problem, man." He turned to his manager and said, "You hear that?" He said, "These jobs could be for Jamaicans." And he said, "I will make sure that all my commercials are shot in Jamaica, unless it is like," because he does commercial in Holland, he does commercial in Germany. He said, "Unless it is a specific request that we do it outside of Jamaica, but once we can do it in Jamaica, I will be giving Jamaicans these jobs." Now, to me, that is the epitome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Epitome of somebody who is putting country over self. Because he doesn't have to do that. You know?
No.
And these are some of the things that because we can't judge the heroes now based on what the heroes then did. It's a different time.
Yeah.
It's a different time.
What about Butch Stewart? What about Butch Stewart? So I'm just throwing it out.
Butch
Stewart.
Butch is, of course, he can be mentioned in the conversation, because what Butch has done for the Caribbean, not just Jamaica, but he has carried the brand Jamaica and sandals worldwide. You know, and he has made Jamaica, because remember, sandals in Antigua is a Jamaican brand in Antigua.
Yes.
You know, so he has done that, and there are a lot of Jamaicans who are working in Sandals Hotel all across the Caribbean.
But Jody, would that be a representation of Jamaica? Butch Stewart being a national hero for ourselves?
Yes.
I'm just asking Jody. I know I'm coming from. Yeah.
I am going to tell you what my point is on this. I believe, and this is for everything.
Yes.
I believe as Caribbean islands who've been subjected to slavery, anything that we do to impact the world in a significant way, coming from where we're coming from, should be recognized. Whether it's an individual or the country itself. That is my personal view. And if it was Lester, or if it was Annette, or if it was you who did something significant to impact or standing on the world and its environs, it is to be recognized. That is what Marty believes.
Yes.
But Silver, is it because of his hue, of his complexion?
No. Because I mean, you know, just like how Golden, when Golden was being elected as the president of the People's National Party, one of the words many people are saying is that he's a white man, not recognizing as well that we're the motto, which is out of many one people. Butch Stewart, as far as I'm concerned, and is deemed to be a Jamaican. I remember standing outside Madame Tussauds once when I was studying law in the UK, and I was working, and I heard a voice behind me saying, "How much you going to that place, man?" So I turned around looking for this black man. What I saw was this distinguished white guy, pinstripe suit, was him. Say, "Oh, you know, how much you going to that place, man?" Turned out that he's a QC. He went to school with Michael Manley and stuff like that. Jamaican. I didn't see the color after that. All I saw was just another Jamaican virgin based on the language there. But there's that mentality still at the same time, whereby we want black people, color. It's a reality. out there at the same time that represent Jamaica at this time, not another white person.
It's funny that you say that. Ribby Chin. I don't know if Annette know Ribby Chin. You know
Quad.
Ribby?
The quad?
Yeah.
He's Chinese.
Ribby and I were talking. If you tell Ribby say about Chinese in Kosi, you know, right? Ribby, the selector said, two of them at around say, all right, how do prove me black push up on the hand? And Mr. Ribby said so. Mr. Ribby, what you do? I said, some of them, what's it like black? And Mr. Ribby, you're a Chinese man. The man said, the man said, more blacker than you. and you cannot tell Ribby. He feel offended. No, he understands and accepts his Chinese heritage. But he does not feel Chinese. He says he's a black man all the while. You know, but he looks Asian.
But I find interesting though, Lester. Even we as Jamaicans of darker hue, we don't accept the other cultures. We're very prejudiced. And I'm going to say it in a weird way. We have been prejudiced towards the other cultures that are among us. Whether we call them, just as you said, just by calling them Chinese or calling them, whatever. I get called enough names because I'm mixed. You understand? I don't know if Annette experienced the same thing or anybody else experienced it. I experienced some serious nicknames.
Yes.
You understand? Some serious nicknames, and I color my hair from a very young age because of it. Because if I grow my hair out, I look like a serious Indian girl, and I never liked the names, and so I just identified myself as a Jamaican. And I think after I said that, but you see what I'm saying? No, you have to understand that I got teased a lot. I got hard, and I'm not afraid to say it. So I'm not understanding what you're no man. I had jet black hair.
So can you imagine me? Can you imagine?
Exactly.
Can you imagine what I had to endure, right?
We are so prejudiced to our mixed culture that it feels weird, even though we're out of culture.
Hey, Jody, but they don't tell you, I will put a bus, I don't want the pan. Blacker, I'm not turn up, bro. Blacker. I'm not turn up.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. It's interesting. It's interesting because it's interesting because I've got persons on YouTube and Facebook, and someone said it's not funny, you know. Because sometimes the names, you know what I mean, sometimes can be while sometimes we laugh at it, some people might find it a bit offensive. Yeah, but nevertheless, still, before we land and on this particular topic, so do we believe then that Jamaica should be a republic before you get a heroine or a hero, or just get the hero and the heroine or whatever, or we just a follow fashion?
I think we should just accept our identity as who we are first. As we've often spoke on this topic, and about being free, and even the last one we had with, what's his name again? Remind me of his name.
The gentleman.
Maroon.
You mean
Richard?
I'm sorry.
The maroon.
Richard?
No, not Richard. Daniel.
Danny.
Daniel, I keep telling Silborn that Daniel said something very significant that it's just so stuck in my brain now that I'm thinking, I don't know how I didn't look at it like before. Daniel said that they were free. They were free to live as Maroons for 100 years before we gained independence. When we gained independence, they were forced to accept the colonial way. You see how? No, you don't understand.
I saw that.
reading it right now. I'm not lazy and natural. I never said that to the I will answer you.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, and Daniel said, when he said that, it hit home to me. And he said, how is it that you could be free before you were free? And now that you are free, you have to you are now in bondage to a law that you weren't in bondage to before, 100 years before. And so now they're literally fighting back for that free, that will to be free again. So I'm like, how is it that we can gain independence and be in bondage? It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all.
I accepted the fact that we are not free. We need to be free. Then we can be liberated to do anything. Natural healers, how we dress, how we operate, how we choose our other things.
But Silver, but hold on, Annette. One of the important thing is we have to stop jumping over hurdles and try to get to something that somebody else has gotten to before us. Because we keep doing that. We have an economic situation. We have a social situation in Jamaica. We have a crime situation. There's so many things that need urgent attention. We don't need a change of government structure to fix this problem.
Absolutely.
We were growing in the 60s, almost double digit, 7%, 8%, 9% in the 60s. In the 80s, we grew per annum like 6.5%. So Jamaica, under the same current structure that we had, have seen great economic times. There's a time when the Jamaican dollar was stronger than the US dollar.
Yes.
In my lifetime. So I'm saying what we need to do first before we try to put any changes dramatically like that or constitutionally, fix currently what we have. Because
what bless you before you even come. So what you're actually saying is that even if the change comes, that doesn't mean to say the fundamental problem will go away. And what some people one second, and what some people are actually saying is that if the change come now when certain things are not in place, it's going to get worse because there's no checks on balance now from the Privy Council, for argument's sake. It was left by themselves. So certain things need to be set and put in place. I do not know, and I'm going to have to investigate a bit further with Barbados, because countries can still be a republic and still remain a part of the Commonwealth as a sort of, what should I say, just like the Governor General in the ceremonial position, and they still attend all of these different events still.
Nigeria,
for argument's sake, is a classic example. And I still find it very interesting for Nigerians celebrating independence. I still can't work that one out because Nigeria is in Africa and celebrating independence from England. I always find that to be strange, but but that's the reality of it. Jody, you're saying something, Jody. Sorry.
What I want on Jody before I think I just search on what you're saying. I think I read somewhere where it says that Barbados is now a republican and is now moving away from the Commonwealth. So we can fact check that. But if I remember reading an article that stated that.
Yes.
So I think that's what they've done. They've broken away from the Commonwealth. I don't know what that makes. What happens.
Or in the process of, but it's not an easy process. People think it's not just an easy process as we think. People say, "Oh, Jamaica should do that." Our constitution is entrenched in the Commonwealth. People don't understand that. Like in the courts, in the parliament, and many things, it is in allegiance to the monarch. And I often say this on my show when I used to have my show, that Jamaicans don't understand policies, laws, and politics. We don't understand it. And sometimes we jumble up everything, and
some of us don't understand it. Some of us don't understand it.
So the question is, can we afford to? Can we afford to, quote unquote, can we afford to move away? Can we afford to become?
Let's go into Jody. Jody, you're saying something.
Which goes back, and I was asking earlier. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you, Jody. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah. The question I was asking is, do you think Rihanna's network goes through Barbados? Because that would no. Why I'm asking is because if she contributes to the economy of Barbados, it would make a huge difference.
But that is not a question I can answer. But
I'll ask Jay-Z. I'll ask Jay-Z.
You know, I would hope that it's her doing what she's doing. The country naturally would benefit in some way, be it what she has put in place for, you know, the various industries, the various things that she's putting back into the country. So I would imagine, just like I would say the same for you, saying he has done a lot for us too as a country.
But Annette, sorry to cut you, Annette, but remember, Rihanna does not live in Barbados. You say live in Jamaica. So from what I know, her network, her money is in United States, right? But notwithstanding, she does have significant wealth in Barbados. She has properties there. That she has a lot of investment also there. You know, but the difference with you saying is that you saying chose to live. And that operative word chose to live in Jamaica.
Yes. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank for persons who are on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube for joining tonight. And I want to thank you and Jody and Lester. But listen, guys, tomorrow night I have Mr. Joseph Patterson, who is the president for the United Independent Congress, UIC. I'll be interviewing him tomorrow night at 9 p.m. UK time, 4 p.m. Jamaica time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The question I want to put out here now quickly is, do you think we need a third political party?
We need something.
We need something.
Honestly, I don't.
I'm hearing some feedback there. Sorry.
Solve our problem.
I think Lester is having some issues there.
I really don't think a third, not to say that it's not welcome, but I don't think that's going to solve our problem.
Yes.
Right? Because if the third party and a fourth and a fifth and a sixth and so on and so forth, and they come with the same mentality and the same approach, we're still going to end up with the same problems. So, you know, it's going to be the more the merrier, just, you know, with all the problems that we have. What we do need is different policies, different people thinking differently, with their agendas being different. And that is where it is for me. So, you know, and it can come from the people who are already there, if they're willing to open their minds, listen to the people, understand what it is that is needed, especially where crime is. So I say to you know, or pandemic is not COVID, or pandemic is crime. You know, and we need persons who are ready to accept that is what our problem is here in Jamaica. We are taking away from our beautiful island with not addressing those those issues. So if a third party is going to come and focus on the issues that we have, then I welcome them. But I can't see why these two that we have in place are not doing what they're supposed to do.
Natural Beauty, what's your take?
The people.
Yeah, Natural Beauty, what's your take?
I'm with Annette as well. Yes, we need a change.
But what Annette made a distinction that not change not for change's sake for a third party, but why not the same persons who are existing now have the change from there? Is that what you're saying, Annette, in a sense, instead of just having a third party?
Absolutely. Because if a third party comes in and they come in with the same thing and the same mentality,
it doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense.
Exactly. Yeah, but we have to see. You know, tomorrow when you talk to him, we'll see if he has different ideas and, you know, he's saying something different. But for right now, JLP and PNP, it's just like it's no difference. It's the same thing every time. One party going, the next party going. It's the same exact thing. We need a change.
Jody,
Absolutely. And I was going to hold on a
Sorry, yeah.
second. Let me just interject. I will go as far as to say that when it is that they're campaigning, they promise all of these things and all the words come out of their mouths, you know, are the right things that they want us to hear. What is the problem is that when they actually get into office, then those words are gone. They left them on the podium, they left them on the stage.
Yes.
And their mandates become different and their thinking is back to where it ought not to be. And that there lies the problem. Whatever they're campaigning on, and I think it's us as a people, we as a people, we need to hold those persons who will put
accountable.
Accountable. Right?
Yes.
So we as a people have to also recognize that we're failing ourselves.
Exactly. And
we need
Jamaican
to hold
people
them accountable.
need to learn that they work for them. The government works for them. They don't work for the government.
That's where we need to change.
Exactly. The mentality and how they think.
We need to change that. We need to change that. Not only we need to free ourselves from mental slavery, which is easy to say because that's something we've been repeating over and over. We need to change our thinking. We need to understand that they work for us. That is where we are going wrong. We put them there. Without us, they can't get there.
Jody, what's your take on it? You're on the rock as well? You're changing up your... You're now look at what?
As for me, I've always said that our government in Jamaica needs to be working as our advocates, and as Antoinette says, they're working for us. But I don't feel like our government is working for us. That's what I believe. I believe they're working for themselves and does. And for any political party to come into play, present, past, or even new, they have to provide a vision for Jamaica where Jamaican people feels like their needs are being put first. Right now, agendas are just being made.
Absolutely.
Every year, every political term, and everybody's doing everything that fits their agenda instead of the general good of the Jamaican people.
And somebody said, Jamaicans have to learn to love hearing the truth.
Yes, absolutely.
Because do you know this thing called Vision 2030? Vision 2030
yes, I have a front of me.
Yes. And I always say this during elections. Why Vision 2030 is not set out there as a sort of map that they campaign on. But of course, they're not going to do that. And Vision 2030 is never mentioned during election campaign. But yet at the same time, the two political parties sign up to Vision 2030. Vision 2030, we're now what? 2021, we're talking
can you elaborate on that Vision 2030? Because I've been living in the United States for
Vision 20.
I don't know what's that. What is that? Tell me what that
Vision
is.
2030 is a program, a plan for Jamaica to become a fully developed country, first world country by 2030. And in that document, they set out the structure, the plan, or the roadmap, how this thing should be achieved. During the diaspora conference, which I go to every year when it started, 2004, right up to a period of time when I just got fed up and stopped going because it was just really a talk shop. They were all talking about Vision 2030, but now it seems to not on the chart or on the map. The Planning Institute of Jamaica was also crucial with it. I think, Jody, you said you got a manual there. I got a manual here as well. But who went? Jody went. And so it is like a key program which should set Jamaica on a particular pathway to be a fully developed country in 2030. And I was saying to myself, something of that nature, the two parties should be signed up to it. And when they're running election, they should say, how can they both achieve this with their various policies? But you said it. Most people don't even know what it is, really.
And this is where the citizens come in, that the citizens should know about this and be asking about that
there
kind
you go.
of stuff.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes. So my belief, and to join you on that, natural, I think sometimes information is deliberately kept from the people, right? Because once you educate the people, once they know,
Sorry, guys, I'm in bed naked.
Oh Lord. I'll send you my piece.
Vita.
Vita, no more drinks for you now. Come. But
Vita is 13.
Vita is having a grand time on, you know.
Turning Vita.
Yes.
I was about, you know, earlier on the thought crossed my mind to go and change into a bathing suit and come back on the on the show to see what the
And
reaction
then we'll wait. Go. We'll wait. Right, Silver? We'll wait.
You put me in a trouble.
No, man. I'm the older sister, man. Yes,
Silver, wife, I listen, so you stay there, you put Silver in that trouble.
No, he's not in trouble.
Somehow from Rihanna on the stage didn't put. I'm sure Silver was watching. Did he get in trouble at that point? He didn't get in trouble.
So,
Or else we wouldn't be having this conversation.
And then go put on a swimsuit. Let me see the Indian.
You know what? You was a troublemaker in a Vita.
Last week she was like this as well. She drank something and she gone. And it was, what time is it in the States now? It's not late. It's not like in the UK where it's 12 o'clock.
It's only 7 o'clock, 5 to 7.
I am liberated. I can start anytime.
You're free. Well, listen, guys, we're closing down to 5 minutes after. Listen, I want to thank you so much, Annette, for joining and spending the time with us. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks for having me.
And
It was indeed a pleasure.
and I'm sure we all were blessed by the lovely images all around, which fit the actual conversation and the decor.
Yes, see, but you're a lucky man. You're right there with 3 women. Look at you.
The decor was.
It was nice having you.
Yes, Anna, it was a pleasure.
I look forward to many more conversations.
Every Saturday, please.
I will try. I totally enjoyed it.
And
Yes.
next week is swimsuit only.
Swimsuit only.
Yes.
I'm down to that one. And I'll change the background next week.
No, I'm okay with your background. Trust me.
No. It might be even. Listen, you need to see the rest of the pieces.
It
Right?
might be more provocative.
I think what Annette is going to do one day is to take us on a tour. Not now, not Annette. A tour of the house with all the different images there and stuff like that. You know. But remember, tomorrow night it's going to be on YouTube, not on Instagram. It's Silver TV. As Lester should send you the details there. What he said? Did he say not on YouTube? Is that what he said? Annette? Oh, she.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
You say you're on YouTube? Yes.
No, man. I am.
Yes. Okay. Check in, bro. Bless up Silver and Bella Buff. So, guys, listen. Take care of yourself. Good night, Vita. Keep drinking. Whatever you're drinking. Cheers.
All right, guys. That's a great one. Stay beautiful.
All right,
Natural beauty. Peace out.
Bye-bye, guys.
You know?
Night,
a good
guys.
one.
Night.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Okay, guys, and thank you so much. How do I get off this? Let me get off this thing here. This vision. There, yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining tonight. It was good, very good discussion. And tomorrow night, remember, we're gonna have Joseph Patterson. Joseph Patterson, who is the president of the UIE. United Independent Congress. Screened it pretty just now, haha. Screened it pretty. Don't worry, I'm not going to stay too long, Beladakov. I'm going to go quickly so you don't lose the image which was there of the screen with my face, you know. But tomorrow night, remember to tune in 9 p.m. UK time, 4 p.m. Jamaica time. Send any questions as well. Mr. Patterson is happy as well to ask for persons to ask any questions and to come in on the show. I got a facility for you to come in on the show as well and tune in. And for those on YouTube and Facebook, I just did a thing tonight. You only could hear the voices of persons, but if you wanted to come on, you can actually go straight onto Instagram and watch the show. Okay? But in the meantime now, just listen to some few music of Mr. Tato Cash, all the way from South Africa. Serious music. Okay? Peace out. And of course, thanks to Vita for coming on. Thanks to Annette Curious Carrington for coming on. Jodian, Lester, and Natural Beauty, of course. It was great. And for all the different persons. Big up Bella Cuff. So the Westminster debate will also be on tomorrow. What's that Westminster debate? Not sure about that one. All right. Cool. Guys, all the best on YouTube, okay? Peace out. Bye-bye.